spreading toward the northeast. The snow mainly to the north over Nebraska, Iowa. Very light snow. Then we're picking up some rain farther south in the warmer air, and that's already spreading into parts of central Indiana. Indianapolis getting some rain.
Part of having a great look.
Whoa, good. An understatement.
Is keeping it. And Kellogg's Special K can help.
It's like love.
Great toasted taste, just 110 calories and fat-free.
I look like a teenager. I look like a rock star.
Kellogg's Special K. Great taste never looked so good.
Too bad I can't sing.
When it comes to travel, there are two companies who can cover the world like nobody else. So whether you're up north or down south, far to the east or out west, now there's a new credit card that turns whatever you buy into free travel. Delta Airlines in the sky, American Express on the ground, and a way to earn more Sky Miles faster. The new Delta Sky Miles credit card from American Express.
A retired preacher, threatened by his own daughter.
She wants my estate.
And an unholy secret.
What would you give me for a mass murder?
John Grisham's The Client, Tuesday.
Big February nights are coming to CBS. For 29 big nights, the biggest events of the new year, like the David Letterman Primetime Special and the Miss USA pageant. World premiere miniseries like The Thornbirds, The Missing Years, starring Richard Chamberlain. World premiere movies like The Dan Jansen Story. And the planet's biggest music event, the 38th Annual Grammy Awards. Big February nights on CBS. It doesn't get any bigger than this.
Richard Chamberlain in The Thornbirds, The Missing Years, Sunday, February 11th.
Some women you forget a minute after the door shuts. Some disappear from memory halfway down the hall. And then there are women like Velma, who sit there like an itch you can't scratch, and you find yourself at some all-night diner with your tortured thoughts and a cup of hazelnut vanilla roast coffee. Better make that 100% Colombian coffee.
100% Colombian coffee. Anything else just doesn't sound as good. It's the richest coffee in the world.
And then you walk out into the cold dark.
Seems like some hair care lines try to box you in. Saying this goes with that, that goes with this, blah, blah, blah. There's only one hair care line that knows no limits. Salon Selectives. Find yourself in this line of shampoos, conditioners, and styling products. Select from precise levels and types to find what's just right for you. Put it all together like only you can, for hair with style. And now, there's no stopping you. Salon Selectives. Select your elements of style.
Only one car company offers 2 front airbags and 2 side impact airbags, standard on every new car. Now, who might that be? Mercedes? BMW? Lexus? Acura? Now, that wasn't too difficult, was it? Drive safely.
So what's it gonna... Hey, it's you!
How old's her?
I'm a big fan.
Really?
Yeah, I just love your Diamond Minute race.
Oh, well, actually, that's Sprint's Diamond Minute race.
Don't be so modest. It's great.
And it's good forever. You know how I count out my tips now? I take the dimes and I go 1 minute, 2 minutes.
That's nice. I'll have the soup.
Hey, Rocco! Look, it's the dime lady!
Oh, boy. Sprint's really started something.
Call now and get 10 cents a minute across the U.S. and now even to Canada.
No, there isn't a fountain of youth. But we do know that proper nutrition is one of the keys to staying healthy and active. The good news is, now there's Boost. It's a whole new kind of milkshake with 25 important vitamins and minerals, including antioxidants and beta-carotene. Sometimes we're just too busy to eat right, but you can help keep your body at its best with Boost.
Tonight, Dave's dancing the night away with David Brenner, blues legend B.B. King, and...
Here's the one that scared me.
The Mets. Tonight on CBS.
An old girlfriend is exposed as a slumlord,
I live in one of those buildings.
and Matt Waters must bring her to justice to save a student's life.
You lied to us.
All new Matt Waters. Then, Trinity has a new doctor because the old doc's stressed out. But how long will the new doc last?
I'll give you my blood. You'll be giving me yours.
American Gothic, all new Wednesday.
McDonald's has a special offer. It's called Cold Days Hot Deals. And the colder it gets, the hotter the deal. Buy one bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit and get another for what the temperature was at noon yesterday. Below 0, it's free.
How do you get clean and fresh?
Jergens body shampoo. I get so much lather.
You really can feel the clean. And it rinses clean without soap film. This freshness is fabulous.
Jergens body shampoo, now in a new moisturizing formula. Another beautiful idea from today's Jergens.
Now, just because I wear makeup doesn't mean my clothes have to.
Revlon creates Color Stay, the revolutionary new makeup that won't rub off on your collar.
Or on him.
Oil-free Color Stay makeup sets in 60 seconds, feels comfortable, looks just applied all day or all night. Color Stay, new from Revlon, makeup that won't rub off.
Because a woman should always make her mark, but not with her makeup.
Revlon. Chicago Hope will continue.
Can a medical miracle save these twin sisters? Watch as doctors try, hoping for a miracle. And all new 48 Hours Thursday.
A cop's honor tested.
Did you witness any officer plant evidence?
A partner fighting for her life. They have saved their finest hours together.
Did you think about your oath and your shield?
For Last, Tyne Daly, Sharon Gless, True Convictions, the final Cagney and Lacey movie next Monday.
This is CBS.
22 minutes, 16 seconds past the hour.
Nice guy, James.
His name's William.
A familiar face, a morning smile, an extra step.
Bridge was down, but he got here anyway, didn't he? Amazing.
At this moment, the people of FedEx are using their know-how, determination, and heart to treat your package as if it were the most important package of all. Because to them, that's exactly what it is.
James, such a nice boy.
He is a nice boy, but his name's William.
Carol?
For most people, a true luxury performance sedan always seems a bit out of reach. That's why Infiniti created the G20, so you could drive a world-class car while you're still young enough to enjoy it. Infiniti luxury and performance at a surprisingly affordable price. You only live once. It's time to get started.
They're Hollywood's hottest couples, but their steamier scenes were never in the script. Love on the set. Live next, Day and Date.
Tomorrow at 3 on Channel 2. At 11, First Lady Hillary Clinton is subpoenaed to appear before a Whitewater grand jury, and scientists say they've discovered one of the great mysteries about sleep.
They're out there. They're not like most of us. There's a passion that brings them together, unites them, like a family. Some people have even called them rebels. They're Saturn owners.
Hey, guys, this must be the place, huh?
Ladies, hurry up! The factory guy's gonna talk. Shake a leg.
I don't know. I guess if you don't own one, you probably wouldn't understand.
How
fast can you begin to feel relief from a cold? Depends. How fast can you open a Halls? Halls with vapor action soothes your throat, quiets your cough, and penetrates nasal passages. Vapor action means instant action, only from the Halls of Medicine. And now great tasting Halls Juniors, just for kids, sugar-free and with a kid-sized dosage of Halls Vapor Action.
Your toothbrush is fighting a never-ending battle against bacteria. But add a new cavity-fighting toothpaste from Listerine, and you've got a powerful germ-killing weapon. Introducing Cool Mint Listerine Fluoride Toothpaste with Listerine ingredients. It kills the germs that cause plaque for a clean feeling that goes beyond brushing. Turn your toothbrush into a lethal weapon. Cool Mint Listerine Toothpaste. The power of prevention.
Tonight, Dave's dancing the night away with David Brenner, blues legend B.B. King, and...
Here's the one that scared me.
The Mets. Tonight on CBS.
If you think TVs and home electronics are mostly made in Japan, listen up. The lion's share are made right here at home.
It's incredible. It is incredible. It's a very well-kept secret.
Not anymore. Made in the USA, and business is booming. Why the change? Correspondent Ray Brady has the answers tomorrow on the CBS Evening News.
You're on CBS.
Trying to save money? Introducing CBS Price Cut. Save up to 50% on hundreds of new products every month. Every single aisle has great prices like Finesse shampoo and conditioner, just $1.99, and Sunlight dish detergent, just 89 cents. Look for the CVS Price Cut sign and save.
BMW traction control, because we all have places to go.
Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, and his stay at the Betty Ford Clinic on ET.
Next, an unprecedented subpoena for the First Lady to face a whitewater grand jury, and the new procedure that could save many women from having a hysterectomy. Coming up.
This is fat-free Jell-O.
See you later, alligator.
In 2 weeks, meet Gulliver, an adventurer who must prove his sanity or lose his family.
I've lost 8 years of my life. And yet I have seen the things that you can only dream about.
You are either a liar, sir, or a lunatic.
But no one believed him.
Why would anyone believe me? Look!
Don't let them hurt him.
And it took the love of a strong woman to prove his innocence.
Do you believe him or not? It is a simple question.
I believe in him.
Jim Henson Productions and Hallmark Hall of Fame present Gulliver's Travels on NBC.
Later, it's Super Bowl week on The Tonight Show with Jay Thomas and Dusk Till Dawn, Salma Hayek. Your local news is next.
Up next, a story you'll see only on News Channel 4, the incredible story of how Chinese immigrants from the Golden Venture are still being held. Also, they're supposed to be filling potholes, but are crews just goofing off? News Channel 4 in 30 seconds.
Jamaica.
You're watching NBC4, the Tri-State News Channel. And now, Chuck Scarborough, Sue Simmons, Janice Huff, and Len Berman. This is News Channel 4 at 11.
Good evening. Hillary Rodham Clinton will now face a grand jury.
The move is unprecedented. For the first time in the nation's history, a sitting First Lady has been compelled to testify before a grand jury. The panel's investigating the mysterious discovery of Mrs. Clinton's law firm billing records in the White House residence. Whitewater prosecutor Kenneth Starr is trying to determine whether anybody hid those long-sought documents from investigators. Fresh off a book tour and under siege in the Whitewater affair, the First Lady will be asked questions under oath about why some of her records she claimed had vanished mysteriously reappeared. The subpoenas come after 2 weeks of attacks on Mrs. Clinton's honesty that have caused her popularity to plunge. Presidential aide Carolyn Huber testified she found Mrs. Clinton's billing records 2 years after they were first demanded by the Whitewater prosecutors. Huber says she found them in August in a room in the White House residence used by the First Lady.
You believe that either the President or Mrs. Clinton had left them there for you for that purpose?
No, I didn't assume that.
Well, who do you think had left them?
I didn't know. I didn't know who left them there.
The Senate Whitewater Committee wants to know whether someone has obstructed the Whitewater investigation by trying to conceal the records, an allegation the President and First Lady both deny.
When all the evidence is in, I think the committee then is in a position to reach a judgment, or at least suggest a judgment, which, of course, in the end, the American people have to make.
Now, this will be the fourth time the First Lady has answered questions under oath for the prosecutors, though the first time in front of a grand jury.
He never testified at his murder trial, but O.J. Simpson could not avoid giving his side of the story under oath at his civil trial. Today, Simpson was grilled on the slow-speed Bronco chase and a letter he wrote that sounded like a suicide note. News Channel 4's Jane Wells has more from Los Angeles.
With his daughter by his side, Fred Goldman described what it's like to spend the whole day in the same room with O.J. Simpson, listening to him answer questions.
Necessary but difficult.
And without going into specifics of what was said, Goldman seemed pleased. Simpson was silent outside the law offices where the deposition took place, and also invisible. The only shot of him was taken off a security camera as he waited inside for an elevator. The deposition lasted 5 hours, but did not cover the night of the murders. Attorneys preferring to ease into that topic sometime during the next week.
Half hour or an hour was spent simply on how he prepared for the deposition. You know what?
Mike Brewer, attorney for Ron Goldman's mother, says O.J. was subdued during the questioning, and one topic they did get into was something the jury in the criminal case never heard about.
June 17th, involving the chase with Mr. Cowlings and the events leading up to his getting into the car, going down to Laguna and then coming back.
And while Brewer would not get specific about what O.J. is saying under oath, he did tell us this.
There are some inconsistencies that I think are fairly important that unless he changes his testimony, I certainly will point out at the time of trial.
The deposition will continue in the morning back inside the law offices, with attorneys getting ever closer to asking about the night of June 12th. And the Goldmans plan to be back, with Kim Goldman driving a car sporting a new license plate reading, "Missing Ron." In Los Angeles, Jane Wells, News Channel 4.
Tonight, BET, the Black Entertainment Network, says O.J. Simpson set no restrictions on what he can be asked during a scheduled Wednesday night interview. Last fall, Simpson canceled an interview with NBC on advice from his lawyers.
The family of a man who died suddenly in an emergency room is accusing the hospital of negligence tonight. 46-year-old Emmanuel Talian Boris complained of pain in his upper body. He was taken to Jamaica Hospital, where his son said he spent nearly 2 hours in the emergency room without being treated by a doctor. Talian Boris went into cardiac arrest.
It hit him as they were waiting in the waiting room. He just, you know, had his heart attack. He changed like 5 different colors in front of my mother, and he was dead on the floor. No help attending him at all. They let him die like a dog.
The hospital said the patient had no previous history of heart trouble. Hospital officials say the case is under review and had no further comment.
Well, melting snow and heavy rains have turned rivers and streams into raging floodwaters all across New York State. One of the hardest hit areas, Delaware County. A highway bridge washed out in the town of Walton. Homeowners are calling the floods the worst this century. Governor Pataki surveyed the damage by helicopter. He is asking the federal government to declare parts of the state a disaster area. Serious flood damage in Pennsylvania. The Susquehanna River overflowed its banks in the state capital of Harrisburg. Residents who were evacuated salvaged whatever belongings they could carry with them. More than 30,000 homes across the state have been damaged. In Rhode Island, officials are calling it the worst oil spill in state history. More than 825,000 gallons have leaked from a grounded barge off North Cape. Cleanup efforts are underway in hopes of saving some of the area's endangered wildlife.
In New Jersey tonight, the cleanup begins after the flooding. People living along the Delaware River in Warren County were hit hard by the rising waters. New Jersey reporter Ben Farnsworth shows us the devastation in the small town of Harmony.
The tiny town is called Harmony, but parts of it were swallowed up by the discordant Delaware River. As the floodwaters swept in higher than some homes, some residents had only minutes to escape.
Watching my son go through 3 feet of water, that was the scariest part, because if they would have got stuck, I would have had to go get him out of there. And he's 5 months old, and it was 10 degrees.
Ice was forced onto people's lawns. It wasn't hard to tell how high the water had gone. This aquarium swam in from somewhere. This usually isn't a no-wake zone. Propane tanks were torn away from homes, spewing gas everywhere. Houses were totaled as water filled homes, moving furniture where it wanted. The floodwaters built up behind an ice dam upriver, and when the ice let go, the water surged downstream.
As tranquil as the waters are today, residents say you can't imagine how terrifying they were on Saturday. At 4 a.m., this was dry land, but by 4:30, the water was 3 feet deep, right about here.
There was one point where the water was actually rising. In 1 hour's time, it rose about 6 feet.
If you are in your house, you're being ordered to evacuate.
800 to 900 people were evacuated in Warren County. Michelle Maroney is handicapped and says she was saved by a fireboat.
I said, I got to get out of here. By that time, I couldn't get out nowhere.
Norman Felver also lived through the flood of '55, but he's still not leaving.
If you can't hack this here, then you don't belong here.
A few houses away, Joe Dudas says he's moving to the mountains, high in the mountains. In Harmony, Ben Farnsworth, News Channel 4.
And Governor Whitman says a preliminary assessment of the damage seems to indicate New Jersey will not qualify for federal disaster aid.
A mountain began burning in Japan, and it was no accident. Every year, the mountain is set on fire as a tradition continues. It commemorates a land rights battle back in 1760. It was settled by torching the mountain, making it unusable by anybody. 80,000 spectators gathered to watch the mountain burn and glow in the night. Thrilled scientists are revealing some of what they learned from last month's Galileo probe of Jupiter. The 57-minute descent discovered 1,000-degree temperatures. The probe found higher winds, drier conditions, and different cloud cover than originally thought. The information will provide clues to the origin of the solar system. And we'll be back with more news in 60 seconds.
BMW traction control, because we all have places to go.
Of the 12 jurors deciding the case, he decided on her.
I know who you are when you wake up.
She knows he's watching. She knows he's waiting.
All you have to do is say not guilty.
Now,
Who will protect you?
justice is in the hands of the juror.
Stay out of our lives.
Demi Moore, Alec Baldwin, from the chilling bestseller, The Juror, rated R, at theaters February 2nd.
It's been more than 2.5 years since the Golden Venture ran aground off the Queens shoreline. That ship was carrying hundreds of illegal Chinese immigrants who wanted to make a new life in America. But what has become of them? News Channel 4's T.Y. Chang has the surprising answer.
On June the 6th, 1993, several hundred illegal immigrants from China crash-landed in Far Rockaway in a dilapidated tramp steamer, the Golden Venture. 10 of the immigrants died that night trying to swim to shore, swim to America. Now, nearly 3 years later, roughly half of those illegal immigrants have been either deported or allowed to enter the U.S., while the other half remain in American jails, their only crime trying to enter the United States illegally. Stanley Mark is an attorney with the Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund and represented a number of the immigrants.
The United States probably has a policy of indefinite detention, which has been a policy they carried on with the Haitian refugees, and now they've subsequently applied it to the Chinese.
According to attorneys representing the illegal immigrants, some of them, about a couple of dozen, have been here at the Immigration and Naturalization Department's detention center on Varick Street in Lower Manhattan. They've been here the entire time. The rest of the illegal Chinese immigrants have been shipped to detention centers and prisons throughout the country. In addition to New York, the 150 remaining Golden Venture immigrants have languished in federal detention centers in York, Pennsylvania, Winchester, Maryland, and regular prisons with hardened criminals in New Orleans, Louisiana. Others are being held in Bakersfield, California, as a final stop to deportation to China. The problem is China now refuses to accept the deportees, and our government has denied them asylum.
I think it's pretty clear that at the highest levels of government, including the State Department, the INS, and various cabinet officials, that there was a decision made to make an example of these refugees.
A final note. We interviewed Mr. Mark at the Museum of Chinese in the Americas in front of artwork handmade by the Golden Venture immigrants. They rolled up used newspaper scraps into small sticks and built a Statue of Liberty, a Golden Venture ship, and an eagle with the inscription, "Fly to Freedom." That's the public case. In the back, there are 24 more artifacts built by the Golden Venture detainees who have nothing but time on their hands. Tiwa Chang, News Channel 4.
The case for the illegal immigrants has dragged on in federal court for nearly 3 years. Attorneys for the illegal immigrants say detainees are usually allowed out on bond, but not in the case of the Golden Venture detainees.
The family of a man shot by police officers says they are looking for the truth and they don't think it is up yet. At the center of the storm, 2 shootings in 2 days in which police used deadly force. In the Saturday shootings at the Polo Grounds houses, police say Leonard Lawton came running at them, reaching for his belt. They say he'd been identified as one of a group that had just pulled off an armed robbery. He was killed by a single shot to the head.
If he was involved with a robbery, how come no money was found on him, no jury was found on him?
Late Sunday, police fired 9 shots, killing Diogenes Paulino at an Amsterdam Avenue pool hall. Police say he was armed and he had threatened both the customers and the police officers.
New York's version of Megan's Law went on the books today. The names of parole sex offenders are being put into a computer registry. Their names and pictures will be provided to parents who ask for them. Parents